Hello, it's Cindy here. Today I want to do a walkthrough a deck of cards I bought recently. So I have had this for I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I got into this deck intensively, so I have worked every day with it, and it's so special that I wanted to share this with you. So the name of this deck is Wild Harmonic Oracle Deck, and it is created by Gabriel Marihu. And this is special. So if you think of oracle decks, you might think of some affirmations or a sentence that is given to you that provides an answer. This works differently. But before we go into the deck, let's open the box. There you have a little book. I love the shape of this box. It's beautiful. And the book is in the same shape. And what you basically have, you have some explanation, of course, about the deck, what it is, how to use it, and then you have on one page the picture of the card, and then on the other you have some explanation, a meditation, and a question. These are very insightful. Let's get into the deck. So how does this work? The deck works with the 4 basic elements. You have earth, you have water, you have fire, and you have air. And then you have 3 other elements, spirit, celestial, and dimensional. And these together represent the energy centers of the body. So we have the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the third chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. And then you have one special element, which is the shadow element. So this is one special thing of this deck. And then you have one card, which is the presence of absence, which is some sort of a joker in this deck. The structure of the deck is the same. So you have the same structure you see here, and 7 elements representing the energy centers in each of the elements. So you have always earth, then water, fire, air, spirit, celestial, and dimensional. So it repeats itself within each of the elements or energy centers. And what this deck does is that it is telling you something about the relationships between the elements or the chakras. So now if you know the elements or the chakras or the planets related to the energy centers, you will benefit from this deck very much, because it gives you so much insight by connecting the dots between all of them. So there is a lot of insight you can gain by working with this deck. And it is, of course, a bit more work. It's not like you pull a card and then you have an answer to something. It's something that helps you to figure out what the answer is yourself by meditating about the element and the connections you might have, for example, in your birth chart and your life cycles. So not everything in your birth chart is activated at the same time. So there are specific time load techniques that show you what sector in your birth chart or what planets are activated. So you can gain a lot of insight about working with those and with the cards. What I do next is I will show you all the cards. I will go through all the elements and let you have a look into this beautiful deck. The colors are very bright, and I love this very much. The artwork is great. If you want to find something negative, the only thing would be that some cards are a bit off center. So for example, here in the fire element, this card, for example, is not entirely in the center. So yeah, this would be something if you want to find something negative, but yeah, otherwise this is a great deck. Let's start with the earth element. So we have earth of earth, and there's always one little explanation there. So it's ground of being. Then we have water of earth, nourishing roots. Fire of earth, primal pulse. Air of earth, shared breath. Spirit of earth, visceral listening. I think I stopped talking. I just show you the pictures. The water element, sacral chakra. There's one more thing I need to tell you, which is great about this deck. There is, of course, also the direction in which the cards are drawn. So basically you have the circle, and this is divided into two halves. So a new cycle begins when the card is upright, like this now. Then if the card's upper part is pointing somewhere in between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, it's in the ascension half of the cycle. So this would be ascension, which would be understanding what it is all about, transcending the knowledge and so on. This would be halfway the cycle. And then, very importantly, starts the embodying cycle. So it's important that the knowledge we gain gets also incorporated in our daily lives onto the physical plane. So when the card is pointing to the left side, from my point of view, we are in the embodiment phase. So 9 o'clock would be halfway through the embodiment half of the cycle. And then a new cycle begins. The fire element, solar plexus. The artwork is very crisp and sharp. There are sharp figures, shapes, but they still leave room for your mind to come up with ever new shapes and ideas about the cards. So the air element is the heart chakra. And we have the spirit, throat chakra. There are different systems you can work with that relate the planets to the energy centers. I use the 7 traditional planets, and spirit is connected to Mercury. The throat chakra is connected to Mercury, the intellect. And we have celestial, the third eye. So for example, if you see water, celestial, so celestial would be the third eye chakra, but then you have water, which is the sacral chakra, so there's a connection from the sacral chakra to the third eye chakra. And yeah, you would think about what kind of connection, what does it mean. Of course, you look at the picture, you read in the book, and you might be surprised what can come up if you check out the related planets in the birth chart and transits. Then we have dimensional, which would be the crown chakra. And the shadow element. This has 15 cards, the other elements have 7 cards. child work and shadow work, of course. So these were all the cards of this deck. All in all, this deck has 65 cards. Well, I will pack all my cards back into this beautiful box, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you know the deck already, let me know in the comments section how it works for you and how do you work with this system. That's all for today. Have a great week ahead. Bye bye.